please?
Study of religion.
Like religious scholars. No.
Yeah, don't have to have jargons. It's study of religions. So those who study religions. So that statement. Okay, let me tell you why I disagree with what you say.
Yes, sir.
And my reasoning for that.
Yes,
when I look at the statement, look, before Abraham, I am. In the English language, only 4 words.
Yeah.
The way it's constructed, it doesn't tell me, in the language that I'm familiar with, in the language that I'm speaking you with,
Yes.
they connotate some kind of one claiming to be God. Because look, before Abraham means there's some kind of priorness to an individual called Abraham, yeah? And I am. Now, there is an identification of I, and he's saying am as in I am, I will be, I was, these kind of things, and before Abraham.
I'm just asking about that position.
Let them discuss.
Right.
Yeah, it's absolutely
So don't heckle my discussion,
I'm
right?
not heckling. I peacefully asked them, are they a Christian?
Okay, good. Listen carefully then. Right. Without any interruptions.
Yes,
like we are having a nice discussion here. So before Abraham, I am. Now, who is this I who's saying? So you're saying this is referring to Jesus Christ. Okay. So if I were to now substitute some of these things, before John was, I am.
Yeah.
If I make that claim, before John was, I am.
Yeah.
Does that statement make me claiming that I am God?
You mean you're a pre-existing person?
Does that
I can
statement,
tell that he could be God.
I said without
Like
interrupting,
he was not.
a heckler, you know by their heckling. That's why I'm saying individuals like this interrupt a nice discussion, and then he abuses the very utility of Speaker's Corner. You might tell him, like, go ahead and have your own discussion.
Well, here's the thing. He's just going to simply say, right, that saying I'm prior
He
to
thinks you don't
Abraham
have any
doesn't
intellectual
demonstrate that he's
prowess or ability to have a
sure
discussion
God.
with
This
anyone.
is what the Arians argue as well in their exegete of the Bible. But he's going to have to concede that the Bible at least outlines that Christ, the person, pre-existed.
Should we just move here on one side? Okay, let's come here one side.
Calm down, yeah?
Okay, so,
We know how to play the game. Trust me.
Siraj,
we are respecting
speak to him.
you. If you're 16, you can't take advantage. Calm down, yeah?
Okay.
No, you've been too much now.
I'm very-
Are you talking to him or to him? Choose. Thank you, then go. Let's get lost. Stop interrupting.
No need to be.
Stop interrupting. No, it's been too much every day, man. We respect him many times. We don't do the same thing. The trust things he does, we don't do that. No, this is too much.
If he follows me, the police knows the protocol.
Police are there. I'm gonna call police. If you follow him,
Just let's move away to one side.
that's too much. He's been too
Let's
much.
move away to one side.
If he doesn't want to, no. If he doesn't want to, he can walk. Look. If you don't want to, he can walk. No, then thank you. Talk to him. Then.
Yes, he's old enough to make his own decision. All right? He's old enough to make his own
He's
decision.
just 17.
yeah.
How old are you? I think you're older than him. 19. So are you relying on him or yourself?
I do that, but I mean,
If you can't
I'm
rely
talking
on
to
yourself,
this
you can
gentleman
walk.
here.
Yes.
Thank you.
So that's too much.
So if I made a statement before John was, I am.
Yeah.
From my statement, it's obvious, like you said,
Yeah.
that I'm claiming to be God, right?
Okay.
Is it obvious or
Yeah,
not?
so I'll reply. Thank you for it's a very good point. So what I ask you is this: is there in the Quran? Is there Abraham? Is there Abraham in the Quran?
Yeah,
Okay. Who is Abraham?
a prophet.
Yeah, but could you go deeper into that?
All in our
Yeah, I would like to know.
in the point of discussion, all you need to know is
but
he is a prophet of God.
Okay, I would just like to know more in the specifics of
But
Abraham.
that will be derailing the very point we're discussing, that statement that we are unpacking.
Right.
So
No, yeah,
what I'm saying, Abraham, in our perspective,
Yeah.
alayhi salam, he is a prophet of God, right?
Yeah.
A messenger of God.
Okay.
Now,
Is he
in
the
Judeo-Christianity,
Sorry.
in Judeo-Christianity, he's also a patriarch, prophet of God.
He's
So
the
now,
first prophet of God.
he is not a first prophet of God
Yes.
in our paradigm.
I mean, in the Bible, personally, we believe he is.
Up to you. What do you believe in? That's your belief.
So yeah, because I'm just curious also on your.
No,
on your
he's not a first prophet
So
of
he's
God.
not the first prophet.
He's not.
Okay, perfect. Well, in the Bible and in the Torah, which is.
Whatever you believe, that's
yeah,
fine. I don't have a problem with
I mean,
that.
obviously, the Bible does come from the Torah, of course, because there wouldn't be no.
No, the
Old
Bible
Testament without-
has the Torah. It doesn't come from the
Exactly,
Torah.
exactly.
The Bible doesn't come from the Torah. Bible is the Torah,
Well, it
the
is not
Nevi'im,
actually.
the Ketuvim, the Gospels, the Acts, letters. epistles.
The Gospels come after.
What do you mean by the Bible and the Torah? Can you differentiate between these two things?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that the Bible, there wouldn't be any Bible without the Torah. That's what I'm saying.
The Christian Bible wouldn't be anything without the Torah.
That's what I'm saying. So in the Torah, we're talking about Abraham, which is the first prophet, right? So
what's his name again?
Sorry, Abraham.
The father of nations. You mean?
Yeah.
That's what it means. His name means the father of nations.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So
remember that one.
Yeah.
His name means the father of nations.
So when he says that, we're talking about the first prophet, right? The first, of course, God. I don't know if it's.
Where does the Bible say he's the first prophet? I'm contesting now.
Well, of course. Okay, perfect. Where does the Bible say Abraham is the first prophet? Well, before Abraham, there was only Adam and Eve. So we're talking about the first prophet being Abraham.
There was no other prophet before Abraham?
No.
Did God of the Bible?
That's not my point. But,
are you saying Abraham before him there was no one else to tell people about God?
No, there wasn't. I don't
was
know.
Noah after Abraham or before Abraham?
So he says before Abraham was I. Why is he saying that?
Was Noah before Abraham or after Abraham?
Was Noah.
Yeah. Why are you taking him? He's having a beautiful discussion.
He doesn't even want.
Let him have a conversation. He's allowed to have a conversation.
No, he's teaching you. It doesn't matter. He's asking you.
Yeah, he's asking. He's looking for answers.
No, he has a point.
But I'm curious about his.
Yeah, you know his point. You know his point.
Anyway, let's give you that. Okay, he is, according to your understanding, is the first prophet. Let's give you that for the sake of argument, right?
Can I just
continue?
reply?
Yeah.
So in my understanding of the Bible, Abraham is the first prophet.
Okay.
What did you call it again?
Patriarch.
No, you
Father of nations.
The father of
That's
nations,
what his name
right?
means.
Yeah. So when I look at it, the father of nations, he's saying before the father of nations on earth was I they gave him the authority to be the father of nations, and therefore God. So that is.
It doesn't follow in any way, shape, or form.
Why doesn't it follow?
If you now go back to the context where that statement is made, Jesus of the gospel was discussing with the Jewish people.
Okay.
And he says, my father Abraham saw my day and he was happy. He was pleased to see me. And they said, why you?
Abraham was pleased to see me.
Yeah. I'm paraphrasing the story. And they said, you're not even 50 years old? How can you say you met Abraham? And so on. In that context, he said, before Abraham was, I am. Did you even know that context?
Yeah, I know the context.
Now tell me the context, since you know about it.
Well, like you said.
No, I'm only giving you a little bit. Now, because you know about it, give me the full context.
No, I do not know the full context.
Right. So that's where the problem is. You have been somehow trained or educated to have some of this.
No, I just haven't read enough of the Bible.
No problem. Yeah. So here is what the context is. He was discussing with them and he was saying, okay, Abraham saw my day and he rejoiced. Right? You can quote me the verses if you want, because he has memorized them all. Right.
Genesis chapter 8. John chapter 8.
Yeah.
Verse 58.
John 8:58. Right.
But before that, you know what he said? John himself said, they never knew who he was talking about. He was talking about the Father. So the Father puts his words into the mouth of his prophets. Do you understand now?
Yeah.
Even Moses spoke as a first person, and he was talking about
So
God.
let's look at the context.
So otherwise, in other ways, Moses is God, David is God.
Is Bible Gateway good for you?
Oh, great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sure.
Of course.
So here is Bible Gateway. Let's go to the foot chapter.
Chapter 18.
Yeah. We've got it here. Here. Your father, Abraham, rejoiced at the thought of seeing my day. He saw it and was glad. 56.
Yeah.
You are not yet 50 years old, they say to him. And you have seen Abraham? Very truly, I tell you. Jesus answered, before Abraham was born, I am. At this they picked up stone to stone him, but Jesus hid himself, sleeping away from the temple grounds.
Yeah. So exactly. Could we just reread, right?
Yeah.
So here he is saying, before Abraham was born,
I am.
I am.
Sure.
And so that's what my point was. at least on how I understand.
Why did he say this in response to
yeah.
when they said you're not even 50 years old?
Well,
And you've
because
seen Abraham.
He was trying to claim that he's an eternal being.
Yeah, well, exactly. So what he's saying is this, okay? So he's saying you're not even 50 years old. How can you claim you
Someone
saw
1,000
Abraham,
years ago, right? Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And he's saying, well, I am God.
No, he doesn't say
Well,
that.
well,
Yeah,
he's saying,
in
wait, excuse me.
Exodus, God uses
How
I am
Wait,
to
wait,
refer
wait.
to himself.
Even Abraham said I am. Is Abraham God as well?
When?
In Genesis.
Yeah, maybe I am
Excuse
happy.
me. Excuse me. So excuse me. So
Is he God?
okay.
15
So
to
here
Genesis
he's
15
saying,
God said in Genesis,
okay,
referred to himself
I'm
as
not
I am.
even
So is
50
he
years old. How can
Paul
I
said I am.
myself
Is Paul God?
know Abraham?
Paul
Is he
says
God?
I am
How?
a prophet.
Well, he's saying
Paul said I am
before
only.
Abraham, the first
So
prophet,
is Paul
Tell me
God?
where.
was born,
You want
was
me to
even
try?
born,
Okay.
I am. I am.
And what do you understand by that now?
Well, I am, meaning I am God.
No,
How is it not? Well, let me ask you why not then.
there are
That's what I would
other
like to know.
possibilities.
Look,
Yeah, but
when we're trying to understand what the text means,
Even
the
another
context gives us a hint, a clue, what the reply may be referring to.
I am doesn't mean he's
They are questioning, you are not even 50 years old, someone lived long time ago, hundreds, thousand years ago, and you have met him? He said, even Abraham was, before he was born, I am, meaning I was already there.
yes.
So this
Exactly.
statement
I was
doesn't,
already there. How could he be already there? Wait, yeah.
this statement is not a statement that I am God.
All right.
If that's the case, Satan was there before Abraham.
Of course,
Satan
of course.
Wait.
Yeah,
According to your logic, yeah.
Satan,
One at a time. Sorry, don't
Yeah.
interrupt him.
was Satan before Abraham?
Was Satan
Before Abraham was born?
Abraham?
The answer is
Well,
obviously yes. You don't need to, I'm asking you rhetorically.
Yeah.
Not for me to reply, to you to reply.
I need to think
yes.
of your question.
Yeah, so the Satan was already there. So if Satan made a claim, before Abraham was born, I am, it doesn't make Satan God. What it means is Satan was already there. What it shows in that statement, the most you can give is what we call pre-existence. Meaning, even before now, at this current time Jesus is speaking, he existed at that time.
He
That
existed
will
at
be the contextual
He
meaning,
was
right?
already there. Yeah.
But not about I am God.
Wait. Okay.
Okay,
So
d-
if
d-
he's
so-
saying I was already there,
Yeah.
how can a man be already there if he's not God? You have to
Slow
be
down.
God to be already there.
Melchizedek.
Is it?
Melchizedek
Could you please explain it?
is another individual who also met Abraham. So we have got the context. What about Melchizedek? No father, no mother, no beginning of days, nor end of days, but someone living there.
Sorry. Repeat the last part.
No genealogy,
Yeah.
no father, no mother, no beginning of days, no end of days. Now,
No beginning of days, no end of days.
exactly.
This individual.
Now, that
Can you quote me
individual.
the verse?
I will. The verse again?
Matthew, and Hebrews chapter 7 verse 3.
Hebrews 7 verse 3.
Yeah.
Okay?
Can you
So
read?
let's go back. There you go.
Thank you.
How can a man,
He's
Be-
more than Jesus even.
of course, be there without a beginning of days, without end of life,
how do you
and
read
not
the
being
whole
God?
Verse?
Context.
Like the whole Hebrews. Yeah.
The whole chapter. So now the question comes back to you. You should be asking me, how does a man who has no beginning of days, nor end of days, not be God? You should be asking that question, not me, you.
I would like to read the.
You read at home as well, but just for a little bit of reflection here, think and reflect.
Oh, it's nor the end of life, meaning that he hasn't died yet.
He has no beginning of days or end of life, end of days.
No.
Says no beginning, no
Having
end.
neither beginning of days nor end
Right.
of life.
Does he
meaning
have a
that
beginning
he's
of
not
days?
dead
So
yet.
he's alive.
Does he have a beginning of days?
Life, no beginning.
Was he
Yeah,
before
no
Abraham
beginning.
or not?
No beginning.
He has no beginning, so he must be before Abraham.
He's trying to twist the verse. That's clear.
Yeah.
Do you know even before that same chapter, John himself, you know what he said in John chapter 8 verse 26 to 29? He said Jesus was speaking about his God, the Father, but they did not understand him.
Right.
See, misunderstood. So God puts his mouth into
Okay.
his
Let's
word
take-
into the mouth
Barakallah
of
fikum.
his prophets.
Barakallah fikum.
David, you know what he said?
Avec le cœur ouvert.
David said the same. He spoken as a first person. Moses said the same. He said, I'm going to bring the rain. Who brings the rain?
Yes, sir.
Moses or God? Moses said, I'm going to bring the rain.
Right.
Is
So
Moses God then?
so let's not. So
I'll just read.
as you read it just right now,
Yeah,
What is your first?
I'm trying to understand.
Well, please do. Please think and read.
Maybe that person is saying that because the person, the
Before
one who has informed the prophet about the information then about Ibrahim.
I'm not going to
And
lie,
by the
I'm not
way,
quite
before
sure.
Abraham is about spiritual. It's not about the flesh. It's about the spiritual.
Okay. So
He's
you
talking
see,
about
the Bible
And the
seems
flesh of
to
Abraham.
suggest there are individuals
because my
who are older than Abraham, even without no beginning of days nor end of days. Have you heard a Christian saying Melchizedek is God?
Maybe one
I haven't either. So it doesn't matter if people have no beginning of days nor end of days, still it doesn't qualify them to be God. Jesus is less than that. He had beginning of days. He was born, right?
That's not his argument, though. His argument is that he's a pre-existing being, like someone that's been here forever.
So you say-
Melchizedek has no father, no mother.
But in Genesis,
You're not listening to what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I
Melchizedek has no father, no mother. Jesus has a
it's not
mother.
about Melchizedek. It's about
Melchizedek is God.
Melchizedek-
According to your
No,
logic, Melchizedek must be God.
Because I am.
You're asking, is
in Hebrew
Melchizedek
is
God?
a word for
Look,
God.
according to
I
his
am
logic,
in Hebrew. God
Melchizedek
himself
is
in
God.
Genesis called himself
I am before someone is the criteria for being
Could you
God.
now explain
I
to
am
me?
is a different way of saying you're God.
Abraham
wait,
said
wait.
I am. Abraham said I am. Paul
So
said I am.
if I said I
Are
am,
they
does that
God?
make me God?
Come on, man.
Well,
Sorry?
okay, if Mohammed says that.
No, if I said I am, okay, I'm saying I am. I am. I am.
And I am is different in Hebrew, in
can
Torah.
also
You know what
say
it
I'm
says?
God.
I am that he exists.
I'm a bit
Makes sense.
confused.
Never said that.
Your friend
He just
here,
said
look,
I am.
one second.
For Abraham, I am.
If I said I am,
Yeah,
what do you understand by that? If I just said I am?
it's the translation of it. It's back in the day.
Rightly so.
in
Translation.
Hebrews, they called I
So-
am. Was a
So,
different way for
so
saying
I
I'm God.
am is a
In Genesis,
translation
he said, I am.
of Genesis.
God says, I am.
God says, Yahya, Yashar, Yahya.
He says I am.
No, no.
I
In
am the
Hebrew.
one who he exists.
What,
It's different.
what's the name in
In
Hebrew?
is different.
I'm not exactly sure of the name.
I've just told you. Yahya, Yashar, Yahya.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's simplify it. Say Yahweh. Okay? Yahweh. So now let's do what we should.
How many people said I am?
Moses said I am. Beggar said I am. All disciples said I am.
10:30.
Abraham said I
Father
am.
and I are one.
Okay. No, that's a different argument. Just let's deal with one.
Because you're
Let's
only
deal-
using this argument.
Let-
There's not only
sorry,
one
sorry, let's deal one at a
argument.
time. Let's
There's only
deal with
argument. You
one at a
claimed it
time.
multiple times.
Excuse me, one at a time. So this issue is about I am. I am happens to be a name of God in the Hebrew Bible.
Yeah, Genesis.
Let's say it's Yahweh. So what we should do
Yahweh,
now,
I am.
we should ask firstly, why did the New Testament writers not translate, why did they translate the name? Because personal names should not be translated. What's your name?
Filippo, nice to meet you.
Filippo.
Yeah.
So if I say
What's
to
your
my
name?
Mansur,
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you, Filippo. If I say to my friends, not interested, thank you.
Not interested in what?
Okay, see you later.
He's scared.
Scared from Islamophobe. Okay. No. Come to one side maybe because these kind of Islamophobes should not be listened to. Right? Let's go. So as we are discussing,
Just go over there.
it's okay. Scared.
Does it have to be all filmed or
It's okay. It's educational purposes.
are you going to post it online? Or?
They are. It's not my cameras. So what I'm saying, Filippo, I'm from Filippo.
Yes, sir.
My name is Mansur, which means victorious.
Okay.
Someone who's helped.
Yeah.
So you're not going to go to your friends and say, I met victorious. And imagine now, my brother, he knows me, and you told him I met victorious. He wouldn't have a clue who you meaning.
Yeah.
But if you said you met Mansur, you say, oh, which Mansur? Mansur that comes to speak as scholar sometimes. He'll say, yeah, I know him. So personal names usually, in our everyday language, we don't translate. We don't translate. And that's exactly what the New Testament writers did, but partially.
Could you repeat why you're talking about the translation?
I'm telling you why. Before Abraham was, the name of Abraham, is it translated to Father of Nations in that verse? Remember what I said earlier? Father of Nations is the meaning of the word Abraham or Abram. But the New Testament writer did not translate that name into Father of Nation. Like, before the Father of Nation, I am. They didn't do that. They kept the name Abraham, as you expect. So, were they being consistent and keeping the name Yahweh? They should have kept Yahweh. They should have said, before Abraham was Yahweh. But they didn't do that. That means
So you saying that Abraham was translated?
they did not
Or not.
translate it
They didn't translate Abraham.
because personal names should not be translated.
Okay.
Can you give him the references?
No,
When you say
this is
that-
not interested at this point.
Oh,
Not this minute. So personal names should be retained. Abraham is retained as Abraham.
Yeah.
If the name of God is Yahweh, that should be retained too.
Okay.
But because they didn't retain the name, they translated it, further questions arise. Is it the name of a translation of the name Yahweh, or is it I am referring to I was, I am, I will be, like in English tense? Context tells us it's not the name. Because they were saying, you're not even 50 years old, how can you claim you've met Abraham? He says, I am. Meaning I was there before Abraham. So it's nothing to do with name, it's to do with I am there.
Okay.
Yeah? Do you see? Contextually tells us it's not a translation of the name Yahweh. Even if it was, for the sake of weaker argument, right? Let's give it like it was a name.
Yeah.
Now let me now put the names back into the text.
Yeah.
And you tell me what it means. Filippo. I'm going to quote now. Before Abraham was Yahweh.
Yeah.
What am I claiming? Imagine I'm Jesus and I make this claim.
Before Abraham was Jesus, basically.
No. Imagine I am Jesus and claiming, and I made that statement.
Before Abraham was
Before Abraham was Yahweh.
It means he was there before Abraham.
Before Abraham was Yahweh.
Before Abraham was Yahweh.
Yeah.
Was Jesus.
Before Abraham, who was?
Jesus.
No, he doesn't say Jesus was there. He says before Abraham was Yahweh, simply. If he said before Abraham was I am Yahweh, so you need, how many I ams you need? 2 I ams. I am Yahweh or I am. But in this verse, you can't have 2 I ams because only one. Either it's a name or it's an English tense. If it's a name, I translate it back. Before Abraham was Yahweh, it doesn't claim, if my brother said before Abraham was Yahweh, what he's claiming is Yahweh was before Abraham, not him.
Yahweh was before Abraham.
Yeah, nothing to do with Jesus.
Context to Yahweh. What's Yahweh?
Yahweh is God of the Jewish people.
Yahweh is Jesus.
Yeah, so where is Jesus claiming that he is Yahweh? Remember, our discussion was, where did he claim? In that statement, there is no claim by Jesus that he's God.
I see your point.
Thank you. Any other statements that come to your mind?
So,
Anything else where Jesus may have claimed that he's God?
the gentleman.
He can help, that's fine. He's a good
Why
guy.
would he say? I am the Father of one?
Okay, let's deal with that then.
Yeah.
If somebody says, I am the Father of one, what does it... If somebody said...
You're missing the context of I am. Because it says in the verse prior, you are not yet 50 years old, and have you seen Abraham?
Yeah. It's okay.
You're missing the context.
But not in front of him, please. Yeah.
Because you're missing the verse ahead of it. It says, you're not yet 50 years old, and have
He's
you
okay.
seen
He's a
Abraham?
good-
Jesus
good guy.
said to them, truly, truly, I say to you, before Abraham was, I am.
Yeah.
So they took up stones to throw at him. He says, someone questions him and he says, Jesus, you say, you are not yet 50 years old, you say you have seen Abraham. And he says, before Abraham was, I am.
Isn't that what I said?
He's talking about himself.
Isn't that what I said?
He's talking about himself, and then they take up stones to
No,
throw
ask
at him.
Filippo.
Why did they take up stones to throw
wait,
at him?
ask Filippo. Isn't that what I said?
Why did they take up stones to stone him when he says, I am?
The Jewish people were trying to stone him, kill him, crucify him by all means. Because he came to overturn their society, their status quo. Even though they could not find anything wrong in him, they're trying all their best means to frame him. But he was clever enough to refute them in all occasions. In there, he didn't respond and they didn't do anything. So, look. I've already explained, you came
They take
late.
up stones, he says, I am. And then they take up stones to stone him after he says, I am. He's talking about himself, and he's talking about being before Abraham.
And what was his
Jesus
response?
is saying, I am
Okay,
before
good.
Abraham.
Now,
so if you agree Jesus
one
was
second.
before
One second.
Abraham.
The blank bit there. Now tell me here, what did Jesus defend? How did he defend when they tried to stone him?
How did he?
How did he defend being stoned? So he didn't defend. So you can't help me here and I can't help you because there is no Jesus' defense here. He didn't defend himself. So the crucial bit is missing. But there is an occasion where Jesus defended himself and they could not get away from him.
point I will make. You know that verse, the Jews, some of them accused Jesus, yes? In the end, you know, even he said, I'm going to the Father. So also, Jews accused Jesus to be the false Messiah. According to his logic, so Jesus should be false Messiah.
So at one point, Jesus, when he was accused of blasphemy, he refuted them. He stood there in his defense, and he defended and he refuted them. Do you remember that incident when he defended?
Which one?
When they claimed that you, a mere man,
Who is
blaspheme.
he to forgive sins? Only God can forgive sins. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about an instance where they said, you, a mere man, you're blaspheming, claiming to be God. That's what we're discussing, right? Did he claim to be God or not?
He did.
And he refuted them. How did he refute them? Or did he say, of course I am God? Exactly what you would expect. Did he say, of course I'm God?
I don't know which instance you're talking about.
In the end, you know what he said? I have heard from God.
Let me remind you, where he said, isn't it written in your law that you are called gods, the sons of the Most High, and the scripture cannot be broken? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Right. So, when they were saying, you are blaspheming, you're claiming to be God, if he was really claiming to be God, he would have said, of course I'm God. Did he say that?
He didn't say he's not God.
No. Did he say that yes, I am God? That's not a blasphemy.
You're making an argument from silence.
No.
You're saying that he didn't say he isn't God.
That's where it's totally being, insincere discussion approach. If someone, I'm telling you, if someone is saying, look, you claim to be God, blasphemy, your response should be, if you are God, saying, I am God. What do you mean?
Well, his time hadn't come.
Time hasn't come. So basically, okay. So how did he reply?
He said, doesn't your own scripture say you are gods?